But you mentioned it sounds like we've got credit card companies colluding, and Amazon too, it sounds like, with our government, especially like the ATF, as far as monitoring what American citizens are doing, which sounds extremely unconstitutional if we have the right to privacy. But then the other thing that you brought up is the way that the news cycle works. I mean, you're right, because it's even changed from LA. It went from the big beautiful bill, the one big beautiful bill, OBBB, to everything going on in LA. And now what is it? Iran, 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 we're going to go to war in Iran. The world is coming to an end. And it's funny because the chances of this one big beautiful bill being forced through Congress without anyone really taking a good hard look at it has gone up because of the way the media is being manipulated. And it goes to show, I remember I've had this Canadian guy, Endeavor, he's a political commentator. I've had him on 3 times at this point, and he's pointed out this news cycle is really weird. It's highly manipulated. Like right about the time of Ghislaine Maxwell being brought out on trial, they were running other big stories. It's a bunch of manipulation and distraction. So I agree with you completely, and I hate to cut you off, but let's just dwell on this for a second. Is this the claim that you're making? And again, I know you can back this up. That these credit card companies and Amazon itself, are they working with the ATF or the DOJ, or who are they coordinating with?
All of them. And again, they stopped it because they got caught. They got away with this during COVID because everybody was buying stuff, more online during COVID. So it was easier to manipulate. It was easier to trace back your purchases and figure out where you're purchasing from. But they got caught. Once COVID ended and we kind of got pseudo back to normal, Congress and the House of Representatives and stuff, that just local judicial stuff went back to normal for the most part when it came to hearings, court cases, everything went back to pseudo normal running for the government. And that's when these lawsuits started coming out. That's when people started going to court for the ATF started bringing some stuff to court. Other people, it gotten mainly we can thank the fact that we still have YouTube. The fact that and the fact that Twitter is no longer owned by super left leaning liberal person for the most part. I don't fully trust Musk when it comes to how conservative he is, but I do feel like he's like Bill Maher. I feel like he's more of a classical liberal, where it's like I don't fully agree with conservatism, but I'm not so far left that I want to tell you you can't think like that unless you're a bad guy. And that's what all this stuff started coming out, Twitter, X, YouTube. There's a ton of YouTube videos, and honestly there's more channels that are focusing more on bringing up those kind of stories versus just doing straight gun related news, like, oh, here's this new gun that company A is putting out, check out what was at SHOT Show, here's what was at this other gun. You have more YouTube channels that are like, here's what just happened, here's how it affects you. We got Colin Noir. He's he's the biggest like lawyer activist on YouTube and Instagram for gun related content. You got Mr. Guns and Gear, who is completely kind of went away from gear testing to the point of just doing news cycles about gun related news cases now. There's 2A News, and there's a bunch of others. And Brandon Herrera. Brandon Herrera, he has just shot up thanks to, he moved out of North Carolina, moved to Texas, and that got people's attention. And now he ran for a congressional seat. He ran against Tony Gonzalez, the Uvalde area area of Texas, after that disastrous school shooting that we all know now. Yet again, Freedom of Information Acts and YouTube, we all got to see that hour and a half long recording from the security camera of that school of responding police officers staging in that hallway and doing nothing. They stood there like a bunch of sissies in full tack gear, afraid of one dude with one rifle, and I think he had a handgun. But I know it. He had a rifle. A rifle was what he was spotted with. I'm sorry, you have level 4+ plates. You tell us we can't own those. They've tried to regulate us having even level 3A body armor. Nancy Pelosi and a bunch of other people tried to push in an anti-body armor bill. That thankfully got shot down, although New Jersey just passed something, I think last year, but I think it got struck down pretty quickly. But they passed a law in New Jersey after the what was it, the Onion Festival shooting? I think that's what it was, where the dude had. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Onion Festival. The Walmart. You remember the Walmart shooting
Yes.
last year or so, right? That dude
Yes.
had level 3 armor plates on. So New Jersey not only tried to sue the body armor manufacturer, they tried to put in a bill that basically said if you're a civilian, if you do not have law enforcement, military, government agency, whatever attached to your name, whether you're
Right.
former or current, you could not own body armor. That got struck down, thankfully. That also disappeared from the news cycle very, very quickly because a lot of, Spartan Armory, Bulldog Armory, um, it's a couple other, we have a lot of, body armor manufacturers in the United States now. It's becoming very, very much more affordable than it used to be. Used to, anything that was stamped as mil spec, military, law enforcement, it cost a couple grand to get it as a civilian because it was very niche, very regulated. Now that we've had several body armor manufacturers take off in the United States, you can get decent body armor for under $300.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Fog and the Whirlwind. I really appreciate it a lot. Make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube, following me on Rumble, following me on X, and on Odyssey. And if you can do one big favor for me, press the like button. That's the best way to make sure that this episode is seen in the algorithm. If you want to support my show, go to thefogandthewhirlwind.substack.com/subscribe. If you're a paid supporter, you get exclusive content, stuff I don't talk about out here publicly. You also get admission into the private supporters of the Fog and the Whirlwind group chat. Once more, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support.